All right, so he is our attorney, but he's also other famous people's attorney, and he is a man on the rise in the legal profession and just a good dude all around. We're talking about our friend and legal rep, John Phillips, attorney
Good morning,
at law.
guys.
Hello, John. How the hell are you?
You guys just make me sound so good. It's so wonderful. I appreciate it.
Well, you are. I saw a tweet from you last night about the Jalen Ramsey thing, so let's get that out of the way.
Let's do it.
Well, what do you think?
So I mean, I did 2 stints as an agent. I was very unsuccessful at that. I found my calling, on this side of the law. But so, I've seen how teams run the show, and certainly Jalen could have acted more mature, but the problem is the Jaguars, right? So they have, I think, the 8th or 9th least number of their draft picks remaining on roster. They had this issue with Fournette last year when he sat the bench and appeared disinterested in the game, and the world of Jackson, Duval collided on whether we got to get rid of Fournette. Now he's getting goal line carries to win the game. And so the question,
or not win it.
Yeah, exactly. Like everybody that sat in an armchair said, please don't call him, please don't call him. But the question is how serious was Jalen? Is this an agent thing? Is this really the end of the road? Because just on a salary cap nature and what they're paying for this star for 2 more years versus what they're paying for a guy to play in California and for another guy to have shoulder surgery, we just really can't afford to lose him.
No, but I just, we were talking before you came on earlier this morning how this is starting to look like the NBA a little bit, where all of a sudden we're picking and choosing, our trades and our teams if we don't like the way things are in our current environment. Like a contract means nothing. And
exactly.
And do you see it going on steroids towards that direction? Because I do.
It is, and with reactionary media, I had a conversation with a good friend about Twitter yesterday, and just kind of what the Twitter's great in so many respects, but it's so anonymous evil in so many respects, and you see these surging tidal waves of public momentum amongst really 50 people at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And so it seems like that's what's happening, and it's unfortunate because, look, he is passionate. He is a bit of a bonehead. I've thrown highly paid first-round draft picks in the back of a pickup truck and taken them out of bad situations and made somebody delete video footage of them to prevent this type of situation in the past.
Right.
And look, they're 24. I was making mistake after mistake after mistake.
Sure.
At 24, we all were. We don't have somebody else looking at our job history at 24 and how we reacted in a given situation. My God, I would never be anybody.
No, I understand what you're saying there, but there's also, it's not like he just started playing football. He's been doing it his entire life. He knows the protocol.
And he's been in the league long enough.
When you give him money, then people just act like idiots. I know that when I started to make some money, I was a complete dick, more so than I am now. But yes, I mean, I get it. But I'll tell you, I was, I watched it and I was like, I knew that was going to be the thing. Oh, he's just competitive. I knew that's what everybody was going to say. No, he's just a dick.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to think everybody on the field's competitive. After all, they had to beat out a bunch of people to get their jobs, most of their life. And yeah. I would think that competitive nature can stay on the field while you go deal with your personal life.
Yeah, and most people handle the situation right after it's done. There's a statement made by the coaches. Oh, it was a heat of the moment thing. We're good now, but not in this case.
Yeah, I think he wanted a new contract, so that was going on. this whole thing about how he's played, whether he's in man coverage or zone coverage and who he's on at any given time has been a thing since his rookie year. He's been complaining about this the whole time. He's just that guy. He thinks he's, Dion 2.0.
Well, he's a great player.
And
he actually hits people.
Exactly. I mean, he lit their star last week. And the question, unlike some of the guys who have made off the field just terrible decisions and crimes, I have a feeling 31 teams are going to want him, and about half of them are going to try to find a way to see if they could shop a first-round draft pick.
He'll go to the Patriots.
And the Jaguars just. We've only got like Taven. Okay, let's just go straight to Jacksonville. We've got Taven Bryan, who hasn't done anything. We've got Leonard Fournette, who's a question mark. Blake Bortles is gone. Dante Fowler Jr. is gone. We've just busted except for Jalen and possibly Josh Allen this year. But who knows? He could get injured or be mad at the team next week. And so we've missed so much that the Jaguars front office, and I'm supposed to be in Dave Caldwell's suite for the New Orleans game, so I don't want to get disinvited. But the Jaguars just need to realize that there's more going on than just a kid with a bad attitude.
True.
Yeah, I mean they've made some good lower and middle round picks, that have stepped up and done a pretty good job. But at the same time, it's just. A guy like this, they got to hold on to him. He really is the best at what he does. But I'm kind of with Terrence on this. I think everybody is going to do an Antonio now and get traded to whatever team and find a way to get out of it and end up on someplace they want to be it the Patriots or somewhere like that.
All right, so
Drew Rosenhaus pulled off the coup of coups with that, and he's going to set the new standard that you do what you're bad enough until you get what you want.
All right, if you have a legal question for John Phillips, this is awesome. He's here to go ahead and give you some free legal advice. We hope that it's good advice. We know it's advice could be. We hope it's just a good call. None of this the stuff that we don't like are the family situations. My wife said this, and and the custody and all that. We don't like that stuff.
Okay, well, do you like a young lady by the name of Sarah who is wanting to ask about breaking a condo lease in Florida?
That sounds good enough to get the ball rolling.
All right, here we go.
Let's do it.
All right,
Sarah, you're on with Lexi Terry and John Phillips.
Go ahead, Sarah.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
Let's start this off good for everybody. I'll just do it real quick. I moved to Florida 3 months ago, signed an 11-month contract on a condo, knowing I'm going to break it because I'm buying a house. But my question is, if they re-rent the condo, they do penalize me a 2-month penalty. I have to pay, 60 days of money to them to break the lease, which, to me, it's better than paying 11 months. But the question is, if they re-rent it during that time that I've paid them, can they double rent?
That is a very good question, and this should be a pretty easy one, Sarah. So the question is, what does the lease say about that? Because they can put in terms either way, that they get to keep it almost as a liquidated damages provision, that they just get to keep the money because you broke the lease, or that it basically rebates, that if they don't have damages because they had a continuous renter, so therefore you would get a credit. And the question is, how's it handled in the lease?
Okay, yeah, I'd have to really look at that. Is there a section I need to look at for that? Because these leases can be kind of.
What that means is I don't want to read it. Will you?
I surely don't. No.
I don't like that either. I'm with you. There is and what thousand. I'm out.
Well, Sarah, did you leave on your own as far as is this a job that you left? Did you leave it to take another job elsewhere, or you just
No,
wanted
she's
to?
buying a house.
Yeah, I mean,
no, we. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, I just wanted to know because if it was kind of a situation where you're trying to get away with something, I would just get away with it and not try and get your money back or whatever.
Right, and to be honest, I'm not looking to try and get the money back. I just don't want to know the laws. I know that some states used to be, back in the old days when I did rent, I'm fortunate enough to not had to for years, but knowing that coming here I was going to buy a home. But, you got to do that transition period. So I just want to know that if they do re-rent it, but I'll look at the contract,
Look
I'm
at
just
the
lucky
contract.
that they only charge me 60 days.
Usually that situation that you're talking about is when they don't have the short-term exception. So if you're stuck for the 11 months and, you were out 3 months, they couldn't rent it for 3 months because they had to turn it around, put it back on the market, but then the last 6 months they rented it, that's usually where that provision applies. But when they're giving you this 60-day out, you knew, you kind of elected it as a worst case scenario, but you're moving into a better case scenario, chances are their language is going to be good enough that you don't get that money back. But Florida's real stringent on deposits. Make sure you clean up the place and tell them you want your deposits back, and they have a short term that they got to put you on notice for any defects.
Yeah, I mean, it's all cordial and everything is real good. It's been a good process. But now you said elect to, and that is something that we did. There were two options for us. So we did elect to break the lease with a 60-day penalty. So there was an option. Now the other option was to not pay the 60-day and have them re-rent it. So we just chose the...
Oh, well, you ain't getting your money back then. I ain't a lawyer, and I know that.
Okay.
Yeah,
well,
right.
and to be honest, when he said elect, that kind of reminded me that, wait a minute, we did sign a thing to opt to that direction. Okay, so that probably already answered my question.
Yeah, you're asking for trouble you don't want anyway.
I hope you go to jail, bitch.
Take your medicine and go.
All right, thanks for calling, Sarah.
Welcome to Florida.
We're good with it. So thanks so much, guys.
Thanks.
You're welcome, Sarah.
I like how she giggled when I called her a bitch.
Yeah.
It's my kind of girl.
Because you don't mean it.
Oh, I meant it.
Yeah. Well, then that's a problem.
Okay, I got another question for Terry.
For me?
Yeah, well, it's not a law question. It's about a call question because you said there's certain calls we don't want because they, could be kind of garbage.
Yeah.
This guy, he's in Pensacola. Say he worked with John Phillips before, and he has a question about Florida, Georgia law.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
He is able to answer that question.
As long as I served him well.
Yes.
Dustin, what's up?
Hey, John. Hey, I worked with Nicole out of your office.
Yeah.
And she was fantastic. She was fantastic. I had a Georgia case back in 2007 that was a possession of some pain pills, and had the probation
Now we're talking.
changed down to Pensacola or Escambia County, Florida, and did everything, paid all the fines. Everything was completed 2012. I thought that it would automatically kick over to the First Offenders Act and everything would be squashed. But apparently when I went to vote in 2016, I found out that wasn't the case. So I called your office and got with Nicole, and she was able to get the new indictment from the judge up in Georgia signed and sealed, and everything's good to go in Georgia. But she said that I needed to file the clemency in Florida, but I never committed the crime in Florida.
Well, maybe she made a mistake.
Yeah, so that's a good question. You might need to call Nicole back and just see what she meant. She's not in the office yet. So was it a felony?
It was, but
Yeah!
it was the First Offenders Drug Act. And the only reason why I'm asking is I want to get my rights to get a firearm.
Right.
and she said that I would need to file for clemency in Florida, but everything I pull up in Florida, I mean, there's nothing ever showing that I ever committed any kind of crime in Florida.
Nicole works for Finley Williams. Finley is my board certified criminal defense guy, and he'll know this. And if I got to put my head, because I'm licensed in Georgia, he's not. If I got to put my head together with him and figure this out for you, we'll figure it out. We'll get you set up.
Okay, so just email Nicole and just find out again, because I've already sent off.
Yeah, email Nicole and say you talked to me this morning, and we just need to figure out, because I don't see where Florida, if Florida was basically just being guidance for the probation, I don't see where Florida courts really have jurisdiction is not really the word that I want, but I don't. There's something that needs to be cleared up, but I don't know if it's necessarily in Florida. But I just have to look at your file because obviously I didn't see it when it came through. So, but Finley or I can figure this out.
But nothing better than hopped up dudes on drugs with guns. Love it.
Yeah, he trying to get that pistol. See you later, Dustin.
All right, Dustin. Thanks, buddy.
Right.
Good luck.
Ooh!
That's our listeners right there. That's the type of calls I
That's
like.
a P1.
He trying to be affiliated with P&P, pills and pistols.
But Dustin sounds like a good guy with a gun, guys.
Yes,
He does.
He's trying to go about it the right way.
Yeah, he's doing it legal. He's not going out on the street and getting
you
some
know
black
what
market.
that favor? You know that favor you asked me is going to be even harder to get.
I thought about that once. I asked, but
we'll
I
talk
mean,
about it later.
okay.
This isn't like weird stuff between you two, is it?
Maybe we might be finna get some money.
There you go.
Or maybe
Never know.
we're planning your birthday surprise, and now you just ruined it.
Damn it, Lex.
Damn you, Lex. Ladies and gentlemen, call John right now. You can do another segment, right?
Sure.
Okay, good. Call us at 866-977-3687. And remember, you can always get a hold of John. How can they do that, John?
1-800-LITIGATE if you can spell, or 904-444-4444 if you cannot spell.
That's the way I remember it.
And,
904-444-4444.
And we got 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in this break. We have a great call from Phil, but we'll have to get him on the other side. It's going to take some time. This is a good call.
Well, don't hang up, Phil.
Don't hang up, Phil.
Don't do that.
Yeah, I don't think John could help you in 2 minutes.
and we're working on getting there to Freakville here next month. We're excited about that.
I couldn't love anything more than getting you guys over at the Duval House and just having some fun, getting you guys to meet some fans. I've got you guys sideline passes. Although by the time that comes around, they may be really easy to get. Everybody might be standing on the sidelines.
Yeah, like a high school game.
And I might get to suit up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Staley, get in there.
Yeah,
I'm not with.
I think I could have got that 2-point conversion. I got one good run in me.
One left. Huh?
Just one.
That's what I told my wife the other day. I go, I have one really good athletic move still in me.
So
before my knees explode.
Yeah, but once it's used up, that's it. Just retire me.
Speaking of, is GoClin still a partner?
Yes.
You're doing
Guys,
great.
I'm down like 22 pounds in the last 45 days or so.
That is awesome.
I dropped 35 in the last 30 days. I just started a new one yesterday. So it's a great product, isn't it?
It's fantastic, and I'm constantly consuming Netflix shows and just 30 minutes. Like, instead of watching TV on the couch, I'm watching it on the treadmill and doing the shakes and just kind of rocking and rolling and shave the beard like you guys might not recognize.
No, you look good, man. I saw the picture you sent us yesterday.
As hell.
I almost didn't recognize you, but I did.
My kids barely do because two of them have never really seen me without a beard.
Nice. Well, call us now if you need some advice. 866-977-3687. We got John for another segment or so, and we always love it when you guys call and ask some doozies.
Yep. So doozies aplenty. Make them happen. and we will answer and get you up there. And John, hold on. We'll be right back. This is Lex and Terry.
Let's go back to John Phillips right now. We got John on. He's a big-time attorney. You may have seen him on CNN. He represents a lot of different people, a lot of different things.
Yeah. How's Omarosa doing, John?
She's great. She's great. I'm supposed to play golf with her Friday, but I actually have a hearing in her case, so I can't play golf with her.
I didn't know she played golf.
You know, she's not what people think on TV. Look, that's a very strategic character. She's a very shrewd, passionate, wonderful woman. I'm proud to represent her.
Well, very nice. All right, let's. We got some people that need some advice from you right now. Let's go down the line, guys.
What call should I go to, Sarah?
I'd say line 1, Phil.
All right, let's do it.
All right, Phil.
Good morning, guys. How are you?
Good. What's up, man?
Good. Hey, I had a question for John Phillips. So, a while back, and when I say a while back, it's been a couple months ago. I had a mutual friend who was intoxicated and was driving recklessly around the place where I live. Ended up putting a car in a ditch, and it was like right in front of our house. And it was raining really bad, so the car was nose deep in the ditch. And then
I've been there.
What had happened? Yeah, I mean, what had happened was that basically he had a 3-year-old in the car with him with no seatbelt on, and then he jumped out and he was being aggressive, and I was trying to figure out who he was. So he came to me being aggressive, and basically when I saw the kid in the car, I lost it, and then I tightened him up, basically, is what I did. So they arrested him for DUI and child endangerment, and then he told them that, hey, I assaulted him and everything, or I committed battery on him. So they came and got my statement, and I wasn't arrested. I wasn't charged with anything. So now he's saying that he's gonna prosecute it to the fullest of the law. I don't know. Should I lawyer up, or should
Or listen.
I've got some things to talk about. Yeah, I've got some things to talk about. So, what state?
Sure. This is Georgia.
Okay. Boys, do y'all have any practical advice?
Oh wow! I'd like it how you defer to us.
I would call an attorney if I were him.
I'd go back and beat him up for threatening you.
There it is.
Right.
That's
right.
That's how I stay in business. So, look, the first question that I would have, and you don't have to answer, but if you have homeowners or renters insurance, oftentimes that covers liability for things like this. And so they would be your first call. They provide both indemnity, which is the money, but also defense, which is a lawyer. So if you have a free option, which would be through your homeowners or renters insurance, some other policies do that, that would be an easy decision to call them, but they're going to say, look, until there's a lawsuit, until there's a claim, there's not much we can do. And I wouldn't lawyer up really unless somebody was asking for my questions, asking me for, to sit down, or there was a legal letter coming through, because likely he's going to have a hard time finding a lawyer for a civil assault or battery case in Georgia, which is modified comparative negligence, so he's got to be 51% responsible for his own injuries. And guess what? Who's to say his injuries weren't caused by him running drunk into a ditch? And so
that's the way I see it.
Yeah, I think you have a great case. The fact that police did not arrest you or charge you, it isn't going to necessarily come out in your case. But people talk about stand your ground all the time. If and when this does come up in the future, you can use stand your ground to defend others, and so you can clearly say, you were trying to save or rescue or defend the 3-year-old child that he had so recklessly left in his car, and use that both as a shield for criminal and civil. People don't realize that it applies all the way around. But the short answer to your question, I would lawyer up only when it seems imminent that something's going to happen. People talk all the time, but lawyers tend not to sue people for what generally was an intent crime.
All right.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much. That put me at ease.
Good luck, Slugger.
Good.
Good luck, Slugger.
Yeah.
Busting somebody upside the head.
John, if you need me just to yell stupid things like that in your next court case, I'll do it.
Yeah, we're good.
Yeah.
All right, where's Sarah B? Sarah B, what call?
I go line 4.
Line 4, okay.
All right.
Rhonda, Freakville, what's up, baby?
Hey, I have got a question. My daughter had a domestic violence arrest earlier this year. We did not press charges, and now we want to get it expunged from her record. How do we go about doing that?
So the expungement process is fairly simple in the paperwork you have to push, but you literally have to go get a court order, get the FDLE to Florida Department of Law Enforcement to approve your record that you qualify for an expungement, and then it's got to be sent to the different bureaus of law enforcement and whatnot to actually take it out, take it off of the record so that it disappears. This would probably qualify. The only real answer here is to just probably get some help. We do those in Jacksonville all the time. Finley Williams board certified criminal trial lawyer. Be happy to help you.
Okay, it was in Clay County, and that was the only place involved. So,
yeah,
who would I contact in Clay County?
Us.
Would it be
444-4444?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the Clay County Courthouse is. I mean, we're over in Ortega, so I mean, we're actually closer probably to Clay than Duval. But yeah, I mean, it's whether it's Green Cove Springs, Jacksonville, St. Augustine.
He's your man, Rhonda.
Okay, that sounds great. I will be calling.
All right, cool.
Okay.
All right, bye, Miss Rhonda. And leave them
Thank
Paul
you.
Malls alone. All right?
Sorry.
Yeah.
She laughed. She was good.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna think that ship has sailed.
That's funny to me.
All right, Sarah B, where we going?
Let's just pick one.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll just pick one. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
why are we asking
Why do we
her?
got to go through 3 people?
We need an attorney just to take a call around here.
No.
Let's give
This Joe, Pensacola.
Joe a call. Yeah, there you
Joe, bring it, baby.
All right, I was sleeping. It was a Wednesday night, 11 o'clock. I'm half drunk, half asleep. Police knock at the door. Say that somebody called them, said I was posting pictures of bombs on Facebook and that I had a bunch of guns and I'm a convicted felon. I went into panic mode, let them in. They found a bunch of guns, charged me with possession of a handgun.
Sorry for laughing, man.
I'm sorry, Joe.
This ain't funny, guys.
We understand.
The ticket says possession of a handgun when in fact they took multiple guns and ammo. And I've talked to a few lawyers and I'm getting everything from $2,500 to $15,000, 3 to 5 minimum mandatory per weapon plus time per bullet. I haven't even got a court date yet. And I'm like, just pins and needles. What am I looking at here?
Where did this happen?
The weapons were in a closet. In the
What
bedroom.
state?
What state, Joe?
State.
Oh, Florida.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so this is one of the first questions that I actually accidentally wrote down part of an expletive during your thing because it was like I was thinking O-S and like I wrote down that word. Yeah, you recognize the severity of the problem once police are in, and unfortunately you gave them consent. Normally they come in unwelcome and we can say, well, you never had a reason to be in, but the fact that you were half asleep, half intoxicated doesn't give you an excuses to consent. Those fees sound about the $2,500. I wouldn't probably hire that guy. Sometimes you get what you pay for. We would probably charge in the, 5 to 75, depending upon what the charges look like on paper for this, and depending upon whether there was something we could beat versus just kind of try to get you out. I'd normally ask if you have a criminal history, but I would, based upon where we are, we know you were because you were. You weren't supposed to have those firearms.
We got 10 seconds, John. So, dude, call him. And
I don't know what the specific question is. We can help talk you through it. We'll give you a quote too if you want to compare. Right. I mean, we're in Jacksonville now.
All right, we gotta go, buddy.
One more segment, John.
Yeah, sure.
All right, this is Lex and Terry. With us is fabulous attorney John Phillips. He, of course, has repped us, people like Omarosa and a whole bunch more. He is good at what he does, and he takes your calls once a month or so, and helps you guys kind of get guidance legally. So we will continue on with that. You cool with doing one more segment, John?
Absolutely. Let me address something. We're in a world where loyalty really doesn't measure up as much as it used to. And I truly treasure my relationship with you guys. As I've said, over the years, I remember listening to you guys, at TK 101 back in the day, and shout out to my boy Brian over there. And I just appreciate, being your lawyer, but being your friend and helping out your listeners whenever I can. I get as recognized for this as anything we do.
Well, thank you, Jim. Back at you there, James. No, just a joke. No, seriously, back at you. I mean, it's amazing the stomach you have for this because, you know me, I don't like any of the litigious stuff. I want out so fast. I'd be the worst. I'd be the worst attorney in the world.
Yes,
but you were so good on General Hospital.
Santa Barbara. Thank you. Yeah. But anyway, let's do this right now. We got how many more calls do we got, guys? Let's pick one.
We got a bunch up there. Let's go ahead and go to. Oh, you don't want to do that. Let's go with Clifford on line 6. Clifford, you're on Lex and Terry, and you're speaking with John Phillips.
Hey, how you doing, guys?
Good. So tell us your deal, man.
Well, my question is, it's in regards to my mother's unsolved murder back in 1994. She was sexually assaulted, murdered, and tied up and thrown in the Ortega River here locally in Jacksonville. And her death certificate was originally listed as homicide. And then it somehow got switched to undetermined, which obviously the conditions of her death doesn't nowhere qualify for an undetermined death. And with the undetermined death listing, her evidence, all of the evidence in her case got placed into undetermined, time frame. There's a time frame that they hold onto the evidence. In a homicide case, they never let it go until it is solved.
What are you trying to achieve? Let's get to that.
I'm trying to find out what is the legal ramification of the mishandling of her case, and is there an attorney that I can find for any sort of like civil litigation involving this? Because basically all the evidence in her case, since it was mislabeled, has been tossed out, and there's no way to go back and get any sort of justice for her unsolved murder.
Man, this is a horrible call, man.
This is, and unfortunately, Jacksonville, we've had over 100 murders this year alone, and we've just there's nobody loves police more than I do, but they've got a tough job and a tough situation going on locally, and there's a lot of unsolved in this, dating back to 1994. This is probably not a phone kind of comic relief conversation, Clifford. I cross the Ortega River every day. Now I'm going to be thinking about your mom a lot. I'm over here in Ortega. I'm happy to sit down and have a serious conversation about this. The short answer is there's a lot of there's a high standard of sovereign immunity. There's lots of statutes of limitations. Let me ask this question: does your family have a suspect or somebody they think did it?
There was, yes, but I believe he's passed away since.
Okay.
Clifford, wouldn't this be a really expensive venture, John, to pursue this? You're talking about digging up people that were on the case and retired. You're talking about having to depose a lot of people, and for what? To change a determination? I don't know if it were me, I'd want to get into all that again for a lot of reasons, financially and emotionally.
But you see, cold case files are handled by media and TV shows, and there's journalists handling them. In every family, I have a saying that I say probably too often, that justice is spelled one way, but it's defined many different ways. And when you lose a family member, a close family member, particularly a parent or a child, you do constantly search for answers and closure, and it's going to be difficult given the situation at hand, and the suspect's probably gone, and there's no likely restitution from a recategorization and destruction of evidence. So there's probably not a civil case. I wouldn't mind hearing the story. We got a $495 million verdict in January over a case that most lawyers wouldn't have tried.
Yeah, why don't we have Clifford give you a call, John?
Yeah.
And you guys talk it out. And that number, once again, is
444-4444 and the 904-912-352-772. Bunch of area codes.
Nice.
Clifford, sorry about your predicament, man. It's horrible, and this has to be a nightmare, but do give John a call, man.
Thanks, guys. I appreciate the time.
You got it, buddy.
Oh, boy. Man, that kind of hit home for real, didn't it?
It's pretty intense. Yeah.
We get, we're at 107 murders this year, and we probably get about 10% of those calls. And most of the time it's answers that, look, there's not much you can do. The civil justice system doesn't offer it. They're evading the criminal justice system. Sometimes it's borderline gangland or people with nothing else to do, and it's just really sad. It's the real side. Going back to what Terry said before that caller, it's the real dark side. But on the same token, when you get a family like that justice or help them through it, it really brightens. It's a bright spot in your career.
We have time for one more.
We have 4 minutes, John. So let's go ahead and grab somebody and help them out here. Chris on line 7 looks like somebody we can help in that amount of time. Chris?
Hey, guys. How's it going?
It's going good.
Well, my question is, back when I was like 17, I'm 29 now, broke into a place a couple times. I have felonies, but it was all withheld, all adjudication withheld. It's in Florida. And my question is, am I able to buy a gun? Because I never got disenfranchised. I still can vote. I've been called for jury duty. So I guess it boils down to, do they ever partially disenfranchise, or is it just you lose your rights or you don't?
Have you tried to buy a gun?
I haven't, because I guess the cheapest way to get the answer would be to go and try and buy one and get told no. I just haven't done it.
Yeah, that'd probably be the best thing to do.
It's often linked. It's often linked with voting, but if you're in Florida, it may be that Nicole or Finley can run a check for you just to determine. It's an easy answer, but short of running over 4 minutes, I'm going to get into analysis that it's really you might be able to, and then the new state amendment, even though it's kind of in a gray area, will certainly help. But that really goes to voting. But you might be okay. The fact they were felonies gives me concern, but you were 17. You might be okay, but feel free to give us a call. We can probably run a check for you.
Okay.
right.
That'll work.
I broke into a place a couple times, but I need a
444.
gun now. I need a gun to make sure it holds.
Yes.
Good luck, dude.
Yeah, I think I would go and at least try to buy the gun.
He was scared of getting shot down.
Oh, nice.
Get it.
Nice.
Thank you.
The way you said that was very tittillating, by the way.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, turned me on a little.
I think nice, Terrence. I think what he's worried about is they're going to go, oh, so you get to vote, huh? And like the gun guy's going to call up somebody. No.
Well, John, we appreciate your time today. Anybody, if you have any concerns, something happens in your life, I would put him on speed dial because you never know. It's 904 and all those other area codes, 444-4444. Easy number to remember. He's one of the best in the biz. And, we appreciate your time today, man. We really do. And we can't wait to see you in a few weeks.
Appreciate you guys. Yeah, I think the next one of these we'll probably be doing maybe live.
Yeah, let's do it.
That would be awesome,
That'd
dude.
be great.
And we appreciate you putting all that together. Of course, it's to benefit St. Jude's, right?
That's exactly right, St. Jude's.
Yeah, which is a fabulous charity, and helps out with the sick children, which only a few places around the country are heavily involved in that. So nice going, John.
Hey,
you're a good man.
Each one helping one makes us all better. I mean, we can't keep forgetting that. You don't know what somebody's going through. If you be kind, you can eliminate all doubt.
Thank
all
you,
right,
John.
buddy. Well, you take care, man.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
All right. Good job today, guys.